2022. Happy holidays, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Please check out my earlier live where I talked about Keefe D wanting to have evidence removed from his upcoming trial, and also Sharon Moore, who has gotten himself entangled in a debacle with a young lady, Paige Shiren, who was working with him, his assistant. I brought you an update pertaining to alleged new allegations from other women saying he was inappropriate with them. And football players have come forward to say they used to see his vehicle parked at Paige's apartment late in the night. Check out that live stream. We're going to talk about grown folks' situations in this live as well. So sit back, get your glass of Chardonnay, iced tea, soda pop, popcorn, and enjoy the ride. Welcome all new viewers and subscribers. You're now listening to the Vault XL. Thank you. God bless all of you. This topic is a doozy. Your husband comes home and decides to tell you that he wants to live as a woman, dress as a woman, and still remain married to you. What do you do? Okay? And to throw in the situation to make it worse, he's attracted to men possibly, because that's usually going to come down the road. I watched a documentary a few years back. It was a couple in the UK where they were a white couple, Caucasian couple, and the husband decided to come out saying he wanted to dress as a female and live as a female, but he did not want to get a divorce. Now, many of you want to say to yourself, well, he's obviously not in tune to the truth, which is he wants to also be with a man, because really there's no point in wanting to dress like a woman, live as a woman, and then not be attracted to a man. What's the point? It's one thing to dress up in women's clothing, underwear, in privacy. We're going to talk about that as well. But to go out in public and identify as a woman, what comes with that, being a woman? Usually desiring a male. You want to live as a woman, dress as a woman, be identified as a woman. The next thing is to say, I'm attracted to men. Now, we have people who do a little bit of everything. They're attracted to men, they're attracted to women. They have different type of courtships. Some of us aren't really on board to this open type lifestyle, plural, that some people have. But weigh in. The husband wants to dress and live as a woman, but still remain married to his spouse. The documentary that I watched was very interesting many moons ago, where the husband felt comfortable to start coming out dressing in women's clothing, identified as a she, but he didn't divorce his wife. Now, I don't know if they're still together, if they're still alive, but I'm trying to wrap my head around a woman wants to walk around with her husband as Bob, and now Bob is Roberta, and he wants to be called Roberta, and now she has to say, well, I got a husband slash wife slash Bob is now Roberta. Who the hell got time to be explaining all of that? I don't. Let's also discuss the polls on my community page. I have an assortment of shorts in the YouTube queue pertaining to the polls. I always like to match them just in case someone saw the poll but didn't see the short, or someone saw the short, didn't see the poll. I do both, so you can have an advantage to comment under the short and then also take the poll pertaining to the short. Let's get started. I'll let some of you weigh in on the subject of Bob being Roberta, but he still wants to stay married to his wife. Shut your mouth. Ooh, Lord. Today was a beautiful day in the high 10. Thank God for Rocky Top. Amen. All right, everybody. Strap your seatbelts in. Let's get started. Have you ever had a verbal or physical altercation with one or more neighbors? 19 people voted. 68% yes. 32% of you said no. Do you despise your neighbors? 42 said yes, 58% no, 12 people voted. Do you despise your boss? 40% yes, 60% no, 10 votes. a co-worker, plural. 50% of you said yes, 44% of you said no. 9 people voted. Thank you so much. Do you tell the person or persons that you have had sex with that you have contracted an STD? So let's say you slept with Bob, and then you slept with Peter within a week or two, and you come up short downtown, your sugar mama ain't looking, gave it to you. Yes, 0%. No, 100%. So 2 people voted and said, hell no, they ain't telling her. Shut your mouth. Are you currently dating more than one person at this time, but they don't know anything about the other person or persons? 100% no, 9 votes. Do you dislike one or more of your children? I know that's a dicey subject matter, but weigh in. 13% says yes, 87% says no, 23 votes. So 13% out of 23 votes said they don't like their kids. And also, food for thought, and this is also a subject matter during the live. This is a multifaceted live stream. We're talking about different topics too. You broke up with someone and now you want him or her back. Also take the poll on my community page. Is someone facing that dilemma in the chat or in the viewing audience? Do you have a favorite child? Yes, 0%. 100% no, 13 people. Have you ever had an STD? 8% said yes, 92% said no, 13 people voted. Have you told a person that you love them, but you do not? You lied. You lied. 69% said yes, they did. 31% of you said no, I did not. 13 votes. Now, I think I re-asked this question again about, have you dated 2 or more people at the same time, but they did not know about the others? So really it's a 2-part question. The first one is currently, are you dating more than one person? This question is from your past. In your past life, date life, did you date more than one person at the same time and they had no knowledge to your understanding? They did not know of the other parties that you were involved with. 27% of you said yes, you have. 73% of you said no. 11 people voted. Have you ever been evicted from a house or an apartment? 21% yes, 79% no. 19 people voted. Thank you so much. Were you a bully as a child, teenager, but you did not tell the police? Yes, 25%. Wow. No, 75%. 12 votes. Ooh, scary. Have you ever intentionally spread a lie about someone? Yes, 25%. No, 75%. 12 votes. Were you cut off by most of your family? Yes, 32%. No, 68%. 19 votes. Have you been fired from a job? Yes, 53%. No, 47%. 17 votes. Did you ever call CPS on someone? Yes, 20%. No, 80%. 15 votes. Have you cut ties with most of your family? This time it's you cutting off somebody, someone, a bunch of them. Yes, 47%, and no, 53%. 17 people voted. Do you like your family? 29% of you said yes. 24% of you said no, and 50-50, which means in between, 47% of you voted. So most of you don't really care for your family. It's up and down. 17 people voted. Let's say a previous lover found you, said they made a mistake, want you back. Do you leave your mate for them? 93% of you said no. And 7% of you said you're not sure. Then 1, and then 0% said, I'd pretend I will to get revenge. And then 0% said yes. So 93% of you said no, you wouldn't take an old flame back. Are you still pining over a past lover? Yes, 14%. No, 79%. Not sure, 7%. I probably should have left that at yes, no. Sorry about that. Do you hang around friends you really don't like? Yes, 7%. No, 93%. If you made more money, would you be a happier person? And that was one of the lives I wanted to do today. And that was the one I had intended for earlier. But I got sidetracked with the updates to Sherrod Moore. 77% of you said yes, you do believe you would be a happier person if you made more money. 23% of you said you're not sure. 13 people voted. All right, now we're going to get to some of the juicy topics. Weigh in. This is for you ladies. Another woman asks you to hook up. That's right. A woman wants to taste your sugar mama. Shut your mouth. No way, 88%. Yes, 3%. Not sure, 10%. 72 people voted. Wow. Tropicana says no. You guys are killing me. You are a woman and another woman asks you, can she kiss you? Ooh, what do you say? What do you do? 13% of you said yes, you'd let her kiss you. 73% of you said no. 15% of you said not sure. 55 ladies voted. Tropicana says not happening. Tropicana, you're funny. Would you allow your man, a new partner, or a hookup to film you while having sex? I know some of the men probably feel left out in some of these questions, but because I'm a woman, I direct a lot of my content towards women. But anywho, do you allow a man to film you while having sex with him? 4% of you said yes, 92% said no. Who in the hell said yes? Then only my man, 4%. So we got 4% yes, 4% only my man, 49 of you voted, and 92% of you said no. Tropicana had to weigh in. Not. Okay. Oh, wow, that's too much. You get caught committing a crime, okay? And you were with a friend or relative, but they didn't get caught. Do you tell on them? Yes, 14%. 76% said no. 7% said not sure. And 2% said I'd only tell on my friend. So basically you're saying if it's a relative, you're going to keep your mouth closed. But if you committed a crime with a friend, 4% of you said you're telling your friend. 2% of you said you're telling your friend. 42 people voted. Your daughter is pregnant. And naturally, this is for young girls underage. Excuse me. What do you do, mom, dad? Keep the baby, 79%. Adoption, 5%. Abortion, 7%. Not sure, 9%. 57 votes. Thank you so much. Would you take your child to get birth control even if they haven't had sex? 68% of you said yes, 24% no, 5% not sure, 3% only if they had been having sex. 38% of you voted. Do you agree with teenagers having sex? 11% of you said yes, 83% no, 6% not sure, 35 people voted. Did you lose your virginity over the age of 18? I was kind of stunned at this one. 38% of you said yes, you lost your virginity over the age of 18. 63% of you said you didn't. 40 people voted. What in the hell is going on? You all have been some dirty birds out there. Have you lied on an application or resume? 32% yes, 68% no. You catch your friend's spouse cheating. Do you tell? 73% of you said, yes, I will. 14% no, 14% not sure. 44 people voted. One person said they would confront him and ask him to stop. And naturally, Queen replied, I don't know if that'd work. Probably not. Would you date a man or woman missing his or her teeth? 37% of you said yes. 40% of you said no. 23% of you said not sure. 43 people voted. And then one of my fans gave me a long letter about hygiene and how they better be keeping up their dentures, brushing their teeth, brushing their tongue, brushing their gums, and better not never take the damn teeth out. That is the funniest comment ever. As I told the person, you probably were better off just saying damn no. Your hubby tells you he's attracted to men, wants to live as a woman, but remain married. What do you ladies do? And that is the main topic of this live stream. Your man that wants to be a woman, live, dress like one, but he still wants to stay married to you. What do you do, sister? 40 women voted. Leave, 88%. Stay, 3%. Not sure, 10%. Who the hell ain't sure? Shut your mouth. You get pulled over with a friend, associate, or relative, and there are drugs in the car. Okay? What do you do? Say that they are his or hers, 50%. Take the blame, 3%. Not sure, 47%. 32 people voted. How could you not be sure? You know the drugs aren't yours, so who else could they be? Now, as Lear said, I say nothing and ask for an attorney. Would you be quiet? Would you say, I didn't know they were in here? Oh, this is in my car. Oh, I'm just a passenger. He just picked me up. She just picked me up. What would you say? What would you do? I can't believe 47% of you said you're not sure. That's scary to me. Would you be offended if your spouse asked for the pass to cheat? And this is a two-way street. Both of you have decided to ask the other one to cheat for one night. And this is based on a movie I saw starring a few women from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Candy used to be on the show. Drew Sidora, she's currently on the show. And Drew Sidora is the lead female in the role in this movie. And it's about a man and a woman allegedly cheating with others. And it turns into a big to-do. It's a very good ending. You won't see it coming. I recommend it. You can watch it on Tubi. The Pass. 96% of you said you would be offended if a spouse asked you to partake in cheating one time. Interesting. Take the polls on my community page, everybody. I make these polls so I can get an idea of how some of you all are thinking out here. I give you a chance to respond if you want to. Now, I did say in my last live, which was last night, 2 lives ago, that I would never ask anything personal such as sex, sexual activity and acts and things like that. But I did go a little in the belly of the beast by asking, have you ever had an STD? Now, as I said in that short, I don't expect you to respond, but you can take the poll and be anonymous in taking the poll. And I also asked, would you tell the last person you slept with that you contracted an STD? So it's a two-part question. Each are separate. Have you ever had an STD? And would you tell the other person who you slept with that you contracted an STD? And naturally, I would assume you would be asking or telling the people that you last had sex with. So I did go a little personal. Don't mind me. As I said, you don't have to comment, but you can take the poll, and the poll does not reveal who you are by voting. Well, that's the latest coming out of East Tennessee. Your husband decides he wants to be free and be a woman. He wants to dress in your clothes, somebody else's damn clothes, a female, and be a woman, but he doesn't want a divorce. What do you do? I already know my answer. It can't be no two heifers in this house. I said that. Bruh. It can't be no two girls up in here. And no, I'm not going to say married to you. For what? Because I got a feeling you like men. You may not want to come out and tell me you like men, but that would be the next thing that you'll be getting into is messing around with men if you haven't already. Do you understand what I'm saying? Very serious question. So take the polls on my community page and also take the poll pertaining to this subject matter of this live stream. What would you do if your husband said he wants to start dressing like a woman and living like a woman? Do you stay in a relationship or do you go? Do you have to get counseling? Do you need some time to think about it? Are you going to ask the ultimate question, do you like men? Because that should be your first question. Do you like men? When did you start dressing like a woman? How long has this bullshit been going on? Have you been dressing in my clothes? Oh, a whole lot of questions. I was thinking earlier before I went live. Imagine, now just role play with me now. Imagine coming home to find your husband in your panties and bra. Because there are men who like to dress up, but they claim they're heterosexual. Don't ask. Definitely don't tell. That still would not work for me. Because what you may assume is just a joke. There's still something wrong with a man wanting to wear women's attire. And I get it. Some of us ladies wear men's shirts, men's socks, hell, maybe men's shoes, tennis shoes. But you understand what the hell I'm really saying. I ain't trying to go out here and be acting like a man, being called Bob, Bill, hell to the no. That would be a scary thing. Oh, baby, I'm just playing. It's just a joke. I like the way it feels. I've heard men say that. They like the way the underwear bras feel. They feel soft. Well, they're supposed to feel soft because they're going to be under your clothes for hours. Who wants some rough drawers and brassiere on? Nobody. But the fact that you want to put them on and wear them, hell no. Because guess what? Today, it's playing around behind closed doors, wearing my panties and my bra. And the next time, you're going to tell me you wore my panties to work, out to play, under your pants. Naturally, you can't wear the bra because the bra will stick out under your shirt. But y'all see where I'm going. That's a scary thing. Now, I don't know the percentage of men who like dressing up behind closed doors, but are allegedly heterosexual. But we know there's a whole lot that are dressing like women and walking around pretending to be a woman. And I have a problem with that too. Some people may disagree. You're entitled to your opinion, but those are my beliefs. I don't believe in a man dressing in women's clothing. I do not believe in you pretending to be a she. Remember this, there is only one she. And you can't be a she with a penis. And I don't care if you get a nip tuck surgery, tuck your testicles down underneath your penis, you know, all that crazy nonsense. You are still a boy. You are still a male. So it doesn't matter about tucking and wearing bras and panties and wearing women's clothing, wearing eyeshadow, wigs, hair pieces. You are a man. You're a male, you're a boy, whichever age you are. And I think you need to stay in you at birth. That's my personal opinion. We have strict laws here in East Tennessee, the state of Tennessee in general, pertaining to gender care for children. And I agree with the governor passing these laws that hell no, you cannot go take your child to the doctor to get any hormone treatments, get any surgeries to reverse their sex. Hell no, because your children may change their mind. And guess what? Once you've been nipped and tucked, you can't go back. And many adults will tell you that. I've watched documentaries pertaining to older adults who went and got the surgery done and they were not pleased because what you are not understanding, and maybe you found out the hard way, the long way, is that you are messing with nature. You're not going in for heart surgery. You're not going in to get a kidney replaced. You didn't fall and bust your head and need some stitches. You're talking about slicing your penis and testicles all the way down and getting it reconstructed to be shaped like a vagina. Do you know how painful that would be? How much meds you're going to need? How much care you're going to need for it to heal? Then you got to talk about urination. Ding, ding, ding. You weren't designed to pee through a slit and open, excuse my language, because God gave you a penis to urinate out of. Stay woke, everybody. So you later say, oh, it ain't working right. Oh, I know it ain't working because it wasn't supposed to have been sliced up and reconstructed. I can't even believe, one, somebody came up with the idea for the damn surgery. Somebody went to school to study doing it, and some fool decided to say, yeah, me, guinea pig, I want you to play downtown with a scalpel and reconstruct my penis into a vagina. Hell no. There is no way in the hell I'm gonna let no surgeon play around down there. And then, like I said, we have all types of things that can go wrong with us where we need a surgeon to get out swollen lymph nodes, cancers, cysts, whatever. You want somebody to go down there and play with your stuff, your junk. You understand? Now, as for the woman, let's talk about she. Hold on a second. She can't become a he because women don't have enough tissue, or shall I say fabric, to make a penis. Now, I do believe somebody has tried. I don't know how that would work out. And I don't think it would look good. I get it. You are attracted to the same sex. That is your choice. But to have somebody go mess with your organs, pumping you up full of hormones, I don't think that's a good idea. Because you don't know the adverse effect that those hormones could have on you. Having someone reconstruct your penis into the shape of a vagina, you're going to have problems. And I remember a few years ago, I discussed this subject matter on my network, and I was watching a video of a young woman. Well, it was a he, wanting to be a she, and honey, he was miserable. After he got that surgery, he could not heal properly. He kept bleeding because that's the point. You're messing with Mother Nature and trying to reconstruct what God designed. And if you are familiar with the Bible, God knew exactly how he wanted man and woman to be. Because when they ate from that tree, they did what? They hid because they realized they were naked. You didn't hear the snake, which was Satan, say, hey, Adam, you sure you want to be a man? I got a scalpel over here and I'm going to reconstruct you like Eve. Hell no. So why are you wanting to do that to yourself? Don't do that. You want to dress up like a woman, pretend to be a woman, that's your prerogative. But what I find interesting about men who do this, boys, whomever, the fact that you get an attitude with others that they're not accepting you for who you are. You need to think about that, what you're saying. We outsiders, the human race, need to accept that you as a man, want to be a woman and need to identify you as a woman, call you a she or a her pronoun. I don't have to. Some people may not like my opinion. I don't care. I don't have to call a man a woman or a she. I don't have to identify you with the name you want me to identify you with. Because I'll be lying if I say you're a she, you're a her. I'll be lying if I call you a woman. For you to tell me I'm your sister, sis, I am not. Yes, we are brothers and sisters through Christ only. Let me make that clear. Some black women are offended by being called sis. And then all these different pronouns and adjectives and nouns and shit that these trans people want to be called. All these different names. It's too much. Binary, this and that. What the hell are you talking about? Just say you're a man or you're a woman. You're a woman and like a woman, or you're a woman and like a man. You're a man and like a woman, or you're a man and like a man. Or you're a man and like a woman and a man, and a woman and like a man and a woman. I'm getting confused. The point is, if you like both, that's your business. But you don't tell me how I should identify you. And I can tell you the truth, many people are not keeping up with all these pronouns and adjectives. They don't have to. And you can't get an attitude because the American people aren't keeping up with the adjectives and pronouns. We don't have to. Because it's going to always be a new name. I remember when I was talking about this many moons ago, about a year or so ago, and hell, I was getting confused just reading all them different types. And this is a person that feels like this. You know, it's like the old saying, sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't. Stop it. Why you just can't accept you are a man? God gave you a penis and testicles for a reason. And I get it. You don't like men. I mean, you don't like women. You don't want to like a woman. Okay. But you can't tell nobody how to identify you. People don't have to do that. The fact you want to play around with your junk, with some scissors and stuff, that's a fool. Because I ain't getting ready to go downtown getting somebody to mess around down there and doing something that wasn't meant. Logically, biblically, scientifically. Come on, Queen. You know biblically it's wrong, you know morally it's wrong, and scientifically it's wrong. Because all of this, whether you're a man or you're a woman, you were made in the eyes of God. Do you not understand that? So it don't matter that down the road, man, woman said, oh, I can reconstruct your genitals. You just bring me a lump sum and I'll work it out for you. And then once they have worked it out, you are pissed off because it ain't working the way you want it to work. So who you mad at? You gotta be mad at your damn self. Because you didn't have no business going downtown messing with your jewelry box and your tool kit. Shut your mouth. There are many people who get surgeries every day, and it is for the preservation of life, not for vanity. So you want a vagina and you're a man or a boy, that's vanity logic. Illogic at that. But you know it don't make no sense. And as I have said to you all, many men have regretted the surgery because of complications, and it did not work to their liking, such as the main reason you got the damn surgery is to have passion and feeling. You can have surgery on any part of your body, your face, your neck, your arm. It can be numb for years. It could not ever get feeling back. Uh-oh, did you hear that? Because you're cutting into the skin, going underneath the skin to do certain things with the body part, it is stitched back up. It then has to heal. And then you realize down the road, 1 month, 2 months, gee, I don't have no feeling in my breast. I don't have any feeling in my arm. And that's something that I'm sure the surgeon told you when you went and got the surgery. You may not have any feeling down there. So you wanting to get a vagina for vanity reasons, what would be the point if there's no feeling downtown? You can't feel anything, so that means you can't have an orgasm. Come on, somebody say, well, it defeats the purpose. And you won't be able to get penetrated if you're bleeding all the time. You don't got no feeling down there. So that means you have messed up your organ for nothing. Don't do it. You say you want to be you, then leave your body parts alone. Tonight's subject is pertaining to relationships. A man decides he no longer wants to be a man. He wants to dress in women's clothes, live as a woman, and he has told his wife he feels uncomfortable being a man, but he still wants to remain married to her. What should she do? What would you do, Miss Lady, if your husband told you, I want to dress up and live as a woman, but I don't want to get a divorce. I want us to still stay married. So basically, it's going to be she and she, Mrs. and Mrs. Jones. I don't see that working. Because how embarrassing that's going to be once it gets out that Bob is now dressing up in clothing and walking out in women's clothing and wanting to be called Roberta. And naturally, you might want documents changed. You're talking about some serious nonsense. Because they say it costs to change your name, especially if you get a divorce. You want to go back to your maiden name, you got to change all these documents, driver license, paperwork. It's trouble. Well, I want to be called Roberta. I feel like a woman. I think the spouse, the female, would feel out of place walking beside her burly husband. God forbid he's very tall, 6'6", and he's now trying to look like a woman. Ooh, that's a hot butter mess. You got to find special shoes. Because you cannot just go to the typical department store and buy a big woman's shoe. Anybody listening? The average shoe is in a 10 or an 11. You'd be lucky if you could find a 12 in a woman's shoe, 13. Now imagine she wants to be a she and 15, okay? Vexing Vixen says, I will always love my husband. I will have separate rooms. Everyone would know I'm doing my own thing from now on. Well, if you're going to do your own thing, honey, why not just leave him? What's the point? If you say you will always love your husband, that don't make any sense, sweetheart. Why stay in separate rooms and you do what you want to do? Why not just leave and do what you want to do? He go his way and then you go your way. I'm just saying. But thank you for coming. I'm not going to do it. As we know, a lot of men are on the down low. A lot of men like men and they don't want to come out and be known as a homosexual or bisexual. They don't want people to know because they are worried about their image and what people are going to say, being made fun of, people talking about them on social media, so on and so forth. So they sneak around with homosexual men and trans men, women, whatever, and do their dirt. And then it's only a matter of time they get caught. Then all hell breaks loose. Oh, I'm 55 and he's my most favorite person. Okay. So it's best you just live your truth. If you want to live openly gay, then do so. You want to start dressing like a woman, living as a woman and you're a man, that's your choice. You're a woman, you want to live like a man, dress, that's your choice. It is your choice. But everything has ramifications, and I think most of you know this. Just like we have a lot of trans persons who end up deceased because they lied. These are the men dressing like women. They're meeting people online, on Facebook, and they're not telling them, oh, by the way, I have a penis. It's a working penis, but I got it tucked in these damn girl thongs, but you don't know that. Let me tell you, disclosing your clothes behind closed doors is not the time for a man to realize he's in the company of a man. There might be some smoke in the city, and you may not come out of there alive. Then we have men who will continue to pursue a relationship with a trans person, knowing he's a he, but dressed as a woman, and they're walking around pretending and perpetrating, or might be wide open doing it, and people know that it's a man dressed up like a woman. I still say those relationships usually don't work. I think most of you know this. They just don't work. They may work for a little while, but how many productive relationships have you seen of a man dating or married to a trans person, a man dressed up like a woman? Please enlighten me. Give me the stats. I say a lot of these men out here perpetrating as heterosexuals, they're sneaking around, sleeping with these trans people, but they don't want nobody to know they're messing around with a man dressed like a woman. And I don't get it, because what's the fascination? Something I've been trying to figure out for years. He's dressed like a she, may even look like a she, may even look feminine, but she's got a penis. That means to me, you desire a penis. You cannot fake the funk on a nasty dump. Do you understand? You cannot just say, oh, well, I like penetrating them from the back. Okay, I don't mean to be derogatory, but you can get a woman to have anal sex with, come on now, if she's willing to do it. So make me understand. Make a lot of people understand. Because you have some men who will say, well, I just penetrate them. I don't perform oral sex on them. I just do it from behind on him. That's bullshit. You mean to tell me that's all you want to do with a man? It's still a man. It don't matter if you don't kiss him, you don't hug him, you don't lie down in the bed with him. The fact that you let him put his mouth on your private part and you penetrate him from behind, you are attracted to a damn man. And you need to accept that. Because you hear a lot of men trying to downplay the roles. Oh, I just hit it from behind. Oh, I just let him lick me, suck me. But it's still a man. What the fuck you don't understand about that? And a lot of men, they love to use that as an excuse, those two excuses, when they're incarcerated. Well, I gotta get off. I gotta get off. Well, why don't you self-gratify yourself? Men have been doing it for years. Self-gratify yourself. You can't use being locked up as an excuse to allow a man to perform fellatio on you and you penetrate him from behind because you're locked up. You can just touch yourself until you get your butt out of there. Now, someone say, well, Queen, eventually he's going to have a weak moment. Probably just like a woman, she'd have a weak moment. She'll probably end up kissing a woman and doing, well, there's only so much two women can do. I think we both know, we all know what that is. She don't have a penis. All she has is a tongue. Make it make sense. Yes, people need to live their truth. Now, we have people who experiment with the same sex and maybe they don't like it. Maybe somebody came on to them. They kissed a woman, did a little something with the woman, but it's not their thing. That's their choice. Because that's something that people don't understand about that. Even the experimentation, it's not for everyone. That's why some women stay with men and some men stay with women. But usually the The deviant behavior, which is homosexuality, it weighs higher to me with men. I think most men, once they get a taste of another man, they can't stop. I don't care how much he says he's attracted to women. He has a wife, he has a girlfriend. Boy, bye. Once you get a taste of that little tail, you want some more of that tail. Because in the end, you are attracted to a man and you don't want to accept that you see something in the male. You are attracted to a male. And when you can come to grips that you're attracted to a male, you can live a better, full life. But sneaking around, sleeping with a trans person that looks like a woman and got a penis and boobs, that's an illusion. Because we know that men don't come here with breasts. So him going to the surgeon to get fake boobs, fake ass, and then got a penis, it's still the same game. You, Mr. Sir, are attracted to a full-grown ass man. And until you can come to grips and accept that, you're never going to live your life fully until you'll accept, I like men, I like women. I like men more or I like women more, but I like both. Because it doesn't add up logically. A man pretending to be a woman, getting hormone treatment, boobs out to here, no vagina, get a shapely tail, pretending to be a woman, and you as a man say you're attracted to that. Make it make sense. You are obviously attracted to both sexes because you are attracted to the pretty face, hair, makeup, the boobs, but you also like the penis. It's a double-edged sword. Because there's no reason for you to go out here and really pick up a trans person. Come on, let's keep it real. What is the point? Oh, I get it. It's a 2-for-1. She's got the looks of a woman, but also a penis and a bottom. Interesting. So he doesn't have to go out and go sleep with Bob to do what he likes to do with men, and then go over here and sleep with Susie to get what he likes with Susie, which is a vagina. He gets a 2-in-1. But there's only one problem with the 2-in-1. Roberta ain't got no vagina. Checkmate. So you're missing that organ. She's a man dressed up, hair weave, natural hair, painted on pig with a penis. No vajayjay. So you are really confused to only seek out trans men, women, however you want to word it, knowing he ain't got no girlfriend downtown. So you just a man that likes a feminine looking man. Well, you got men out here who are feminine and they just don't wear makeup, hair weave, and stilettos. They walk out here in men's clothing, but you can see that they are gay. Some. So why not just get you a feminine ass gay man? What the hell's the deal? I'm confused at that. That's the one thing I've not learned, understood about men who date trans men. Why do you want something that looks and favors a woman, but yet he has a penis? It doesn't make sense to me. Because he's missing a vagina. So it's really not even like you're attracted to a woman, if I really sit here and think about it, because a natural woman has a vagina. That's the purpose of a man wanting her eventually, not just her face or how she's shaped, her mindset, her personality. He knows eventually she's going to give up the cookie. But a trans person don't got no cookie. So explain to me, what is the attraction of a trans person? Because really, when you think about it, it's quite sick. A man not just getting a masculine man or a feminine man, and they do their deeds, you go get one with a ponytail, eyelashes, fingernail polish, fake boobs, and a penis. How in the hell does that make any sense? It doesn't. That's my commentary. Take the polls on my community page, check out my extensive library and shorts, follow me on the Newsbreak app, and weigh in and let me know, what would you do if your mate came home and told you he's attracted to men or not, wants to dress like a woman, live as a woman? Do you stay? Do you go? Because he says he doesn't want to get a divorce. He wants to still be with you. I'm going to say this, run like hell, because I do believe eventually he going to want to take up with him. And there'll be no room for you, Mrs. Jones. And you're going to be even more devastated. You hung in there with your gay husband who has been hiding in the damn closet, now wants to live like a woman, and then one day he meets a man and decides to take up with a man. He will no longer have any use for you, and you're going to be heartbroken. So your best bet is to cut the apron string and say, well, it's been a nice ride. I wish you had told me before we married, dated, that you were attracted to men or fancy dressing up as a woman, and we could have just been friends. Or not. But that's the point. We live in a society where people were afraid to be who they desire to be because they were worried about what people think and how they were going to be treated, possibly harmed. As you know, a lot of Black trans people are unalived each year. And I think it's a matter of them being, they're either threatening the man, because you hear that a lot. They threaten to out them, put them on social media, or they didn't represent their whole truth. And perhaps one night turned into a deadly night because they didn't tell the truth that they have a penis underneath that skirt. Because we know that there are men who, as I said, are attracted to men, attracted to trans men. Why, I don't know, but they don't want people to know they're messing with a man dressed like a woman, which makes no damn sense, because you can easily be just caught. The truth could come out if he was messing with a masculine looking man or a feminine man. The point is, you just don't want nobody to know that you're messing with a man. So why you want to up the ante by messing with one that looks like a woman? That is the weirdest thing to me. I just can't understand it. Maybe somebody can help me, but I just don't understand it. The point is, it's a man. Paint it up or not. Because like they say, you can paint the pig all day. It's still a pig. And it's not to be derogatory. It's just a figure of speech. A donkey, a billy goat. It's just like a motorcycle is a motorcycle, a car is a car. They can't be both. You can try to make one look like the other, but it ain't. Just like a baby doll is a baby doll. It ain't a real doll. I mean, a real human, excuse me. And you can pretend it's crying and mimic it. Or it can have a push button. It's still a doll. And then you need to see you a doctor if you really think a doll is really a human. I saw a video on YouTube the other day where a woman was living as if she had real children and they were baby dolls. And she was getting up, feeding them, making formula, real formula, feeding the dolls, talking to them, asking the child what's wrong with it. It was very scary. And some people may think this is humorous. It's not funny, because you're getting up and wasting valuable time that you could be out here doing something such as working a real job, then playing around with baby dolls and feeding them and acting like they're talking back to you and asking you, mommy, what's wrong? Mommy, I need this. I mean, she had the nerve to tell one of the little dolls, where's your book bag at? I thought I was going to fall out. And somebody in the comment section said, I'm kind of curious to where that backpack went. Exactly. Where did it go? Because to see this woman talking to a toddler doll and asking the child, where is your book bag, your bag at, or whatever it was. That's scary because now you're talking about having a full-on conversation with a toy. Dressing it up, standing it up, sitting it in chairs, sitting it in front of real food. Let me mention that. Real Enfamil, real carrots, real vegetables, chips, all that. All out on the table. So you're wasting money on food formula for dolls. Why? You're talking to the dolls. You're acting like they're talking to you and you're responding as if they're actually speaking. This is time consuming because we know that it's a real job taking care of children, okay? So here's this woman playing make-believe, and I told myself, I hope this is just somebody doing this to poke fun. But she seems serious. But I won't doubt there is a knucklehead out here doing just what that woman's doing, and they're dead serious. They're pretending that those baby dolls' toys are their children. And you know there are people who treat their pets the same way. Help me understand. That's my commentary. Check out my live from earlier. Comment under this video. Tell me what you think. Take the polls. I got a lot of polls I've put out since yesterday. 24 hours worth of polls for your enjoyment. Naturally, these are just questions I come up with to see how you all are thinking, what's on your mind. You're entitled to comment. You don't have to comment. And you don't have to leave me a crazy comment saying, why are you asking this question? I'm asking because I want to. You don't have to reply. It's just a question. But know that somebody is living that truth in those said questions. Somebody has a pregnant kid. Somebody's dating more than one person. Somebody's got a husband hiding in the closet. Somebody don't like their neighbor. Somebody don't like their boss. Somebody don't get along with their family. Somebody's cut off their family. Family cut them off. All true stories. So every question I ask, you know it has happened to somebody out here, maybe even you. So take the polls. You can remain anonymous in the polls. Nobody knows how you're voting. The only way we know how you are thinking is if you comment under the poll and under the videos. Like, share, subscribe. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you, Vixen, for participating in this live and giving your commentary. Thank you for those who are watching at home and those who will catch this video on the replay. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you're enjoying this ride with me that we're going to take into 2026. I'm going to be bringing you more hypothetical situations, real life situations, and true stories. I have a little bit of something on my mind. I don't think I'm going to discuss it during this live. I'll just ponder on it when I leave here. But the one thing I have been feeling is just irritated dealing with human beings, mostly men. And the one thing I just don't understand, how a person, because I go ahead and say it, how a person can call your phone and act as if they're giving you some type of half-baked apology, but then they won't respond thereafter. Basically, doing what they normally do, talking about themselves, what they're going through, what's on their mind, they've been upset, blah, blah, blah. Not considering anything that I have going on. And then, oh, the past is the past. Well, the past can't be the past if you're still exhibiting the same past behavior. Because as Dr. Field would say, past behavior is indicator of future behavior. Because most people don't change, you know. And frankly, as I have said before, I'm just fed up. I'm in a place where I'm tired. I'm 54, I'll be 55 next month, and I'm exhausted. I'm tired of playing phone games, phone tag, dealing with ornery attitudes, nasty attitudes, filthy mouth men with no goals, no gumption. They don't have any manners, no etiquette. That's not the type of man I want for myself. They're not the type of men I saw myself with as a young person and even now. And I get it. People are flawed. People make mistakes. But when you don't have any respect for me, there's nowhere to take it. I can play the song and dance just like anybody could out here in the street. But eventually, the tires are going to get worn. They're going to get splinters. They're going to get holes. And I'm just tired. And as people say, well, Queen, only person can change the dynamic is you. I know. But I seem to keep getting sucked back in. And my thing is, if you can go weeks and don't say anything, don't call, don't talk, you should just stay gone. And naturally, me calling and the person finally answers, that ain't no good either. Because there's no honesty. It's just like a dirty game. And even in meeting new people, I'm leery that I'm gonna go back into the same scenario. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hopping in a washing machine and just watching you go around, round. And ain't nothing coming up clean. I will say it's hard being 54. It's hard being a Black woman at 54. It is. And then I tell myself, I think about all the women that live around the United States. Tall, short, skinny, fat, Black, white, whatever. Educated, not educated, good jobs, homes, and they're single. And I'm talking about women who are progressive. They're doing well, they're doing things, they're movers and shakers, but yet they cannot find a decent Black man to reciprocate the love, the respect. Why not? Because people tell me that all the time. They'll say, well, Queen, I live here. I live in Charlotte. I live in Atlanta. I live here, Chicago. It's the same thing. We can't find any men here either. There's single women up here that they're dating, and the men don't want nothing. They just want a sugar mama or a babysitter. They just, they want a nursemaid. They want to cook. Just want sex. Don't want nothing. And that's sad. And it's sad to say that for my race, that a lot of these Black men, they are traumatized individuals. They're carrying a lot of baggage from childhood. They have mommy issues. They have daddy issues. They cannot be monogamous. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to act. And they're just going out here racking up women like Skittles, spitting them out when they're done with them. And it's pathetic. Because you don't have to be that type of man. I would feel shame to be a man and I'm out here using women, lying and manipulating and conning and disrespecting them and putting my hands on them and calling them dirty names and knowing that they're a mother or a sister. How could you do that to a woman? And then you be the same one to say, I love my mama, I love my daughter. You couldn't. How could you love your own mother, grandmother, or the woman that raised you when you're out here disrespecting another woman? That makes no damn sense. Oh, I love my kid. I love my daughter. Nobody would ever put their hands on her. But it's okay if you do it to a woman. It's okay if you spit on a woman. You call her B-I-T-C-H. That's not her name. And I know it sure ain't my damn name. My mama named me Angela. She didn't name me bitch, motherfucker. Do you understand? And you have men who don't have a problem calling a woman out of her name. And yes, white men do it, Hispanic men, German, Jewish, whomever. It's sickening that you came from a woman, but you would disrespect a woman. You need to have your head checked. And let me tell you something else I'm seeing. All these men who are abusive to women, they end up being lonely creatures. If they get somebody that they finally try to settle down with, she's just there out of boredom her damn self. Because most of these humans, they're not going to change. They only change when they're just rock bottom, sick, ill, wheelchair bound. And some still don't change, still nasty, still rude, still want to order women around, talk down to her, fix this, put this here, I'm hungry, you will lay there. Oh, I need my diaper changed. I'm not your mama. Ask your mama to change your diaper. See, you better be very careful how you treat people because you don't have no idea how you're going to end up. And a lot of these men are finding out because they didn't take care of themselves while they're out here beating and sabotaging women. Ooh, you now have kidney failure, heart disease, pacemakers. You're in a hover round. Now you need help. Get into the bathroom. You need help. Somebody taking you around, taking you to appointments, medical appointments, this, that, and the other. Yeah, life's a bitch. Just like the bitches you used to call these women out here in the street who were good to you. And all this crying all the time. God, I'm sick of that. As I told you all, I don't have a problem with a man becoming emotional, but when you're crying every time somebody says something to you, you're crying every time you say something, something's on your mind, there's something wrong with that. A man just crying on a whim. Always spinning a story to tell about his life, what's wrong with his life, what somebody did to him, how he's feeling, but never ask you, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What was your life like growing up? It's always about him. And I tend to keep attracting men who cry. And I can't understand how, in God's name, they chose me. The whining and excessive crying, I have never seen it before. It is baffling to me to be at this age seeing grown men cry constantly when all they do is wreak havoc and disrespect people, cut people off, use people, and then have the audacity to say, oh, I cried yesterday. I cried today. Well, it seems like every time I talk to you, you're crying. Maybe you're crying because you know you're a sack of shit and you're trash and you treat people like fucking trash. And your conscience is whooping your ass, but yet you still won't change. Because you're crying for yourself. And you need to stop and grow up. Because I'm telling you, if you don't, you're going to be in a world of trouble one day that you're not going to be able to get out of. And there will be nobody, not a friend, not a foe, nobody. There'll be nobody to answer the phone. There'll be no bill, money, bond, nothing. There'll be nobody to push you around. There'll be nobody to bathe, help you, change your diaper, help you with your shoes, socks. There'll be no one. And then you'll really cry and call out to God and say, why am I in this place? Why am I alone? And the voice probably will answer back, you're alone because this is where you always wanted to be. Alone. Because you don't know how to act when you're around people. So this is your fate. You reap what you sow in life. And I think it's baffling, as I said, that I keep attracting men who are eerily similar to other men that I have met. Two in particular, they could be brothers. Always blaming you, blaming other people for their issues. It's always somebody else's fault. Storming off in the middle of a conversation, getting mad, name calling, talking crazy. Like I say, who the hell are you talking to? I came from a mother and have a father. And they didn't have and raise no junk. So you treat me with respect and address me accordingly by my damn name. I feel sorry for young people. I feel sorry for our youth, especially if they're not getting the proper guidance they need, proper parenting, role models, because they're going to go out here in the world and sadly they're going to behave just like these trifling ass men. And the women going to be sitting up here spinning the same story I'm spinning at 20, 30. Why? He don't act right. He don't talk right. He don't want nothing. It's going to be the same damn thing, just repetitious. And then she'll have some kids and they'll be singing the same song and dance. Because as they say, you teach people how to treat you. So you keep allowing people to keep coming around you, talking crazy, popping off, getting mad. They're going to keep doing that. One day they're talking to you, the next day they won't answer the phone, won't talk to you, block you, whatever. You do it too. It's just a vicious cycle. Now you are part of the madness. Up and down, round and round. It's just a story with no ending until somebody says, enough is enough. I got to get off this roller coaster ride because it ain't going nowhere. Conductor, could you please stop this ride? I want off. You got to get to that point. So you young ladies, value yourself. Young men, value yourself. Treat women with respect. And you'll have a productive life. You treat people with respect. You'll have a productive life, a prosperous life. Women, girls, same thing. I like the jazz playing in the background. Oh, I love this little video. It plays and it has no commercials. Most of the little music that I've been playing on YouTube, they have commercials, but I like this one, uninterrupted, pure Christmas jazz, no commercials. Thank you for listening. I hope I was able to bring you some type of information in this live. If you're out there with any of these problems I've mentioned in these shorts and polls, pray about it. Ask God to remove the stones. Because anything and everything is possible with Jesus Christ, superstar, honey. And I'm a living witness. Like they say, it doesn't rain forever. Of course not. The sun eventually comes out. It's just up to you if you're going to go out there and bask in it or not. And I definitely need to take my own advice. Amen. You've been listening to the Vault XL. Thank you.